there's not a whole lot of dudes that are taking accountability. I fucked up bad, like crash and burn type shit. Hurt a lot of people, and I'm fully aware of that, and I'm gonna owe for the rest of my life.
샤이아 라보프는 17살에 영화 홀스에 출연한 것으로 굉장히 이른 나이에 헐리우드에 데뷔한 배우입니다. 어린 나이에 헐리우드에서 큰 성공을 이룬 덕에 그만큼 사고도 많이 치고 헐리우드에서 악동이라고 불리는 배우이기도 합니다. 영화 콘스탄틴, 트랜스포머, 퓨리 등으로 대표작이 있죠. 샤이아의 사건 사고에는 이유가 있었습니다. 그는 알코올 중독자였습니다. 음주운전 혐의로 체포당한 적도 있었고 2014년에는 술집에서 위스키를 마시며 월드컵을 보다가 난동을 피우기도 했고 잇따른 기행과 구설수로 평판이 매우 하락한 배우이기도 하죠. 하지만 최근에 들어 그는 정말 다른 삶을 살고 있습니다. 그는 알코올 중독을 완치하고 2022년에는 가톨릭 신앙을 받아들이며 그의 삶의 목표도 많이 바뀐 듯 합니다. 그가 인생의 바닥에서 죽음을 택하려고 했던 순간 그의 인생을 180도 바꾼 그의 이야기를 한번 들어보겠습니다.
When do you become a man? When you get a driver's license? Like, what do we do? You 16, we give you a driver's license. Okay, well, wait, like, you get a job? Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability. I grew up in a culture that told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison and coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, you know, and it doesn't. The way that I felt about craft and life in general was, I don't give a fuck what you think, you know? I don't care what you think about me. I had come from an environment with very little cheerleading going on. And so I created a sort of survival instinct where I would cut people out, you know, and minimize opinions. And the way that I would do that is I had to believe that my opinion was greater than everybody else's opinion around me.
자기 자신을 책임질 수 있을 때, 가족을 책임질 수 있을 때, 주변 사람들을 책임질 수 있을 때, 사회를 책임질 수 있을 때, 결국 다른 사람들을 책임질 수 있을 때 우리는 진정한 남자로 거듭된다고 말합니다. 샤이아의 어린 시절 그의 아버지는 마약에 항상 취해 있었고 그리고 자신에게 총까지 겨누며 학대를 당했다고 말합니다. 순탄하지 않은 가정 환경에서 샤이아는 생존하기 위해 인간관계에 굉장히 조심스러웠고 그 누구의 말보다 자신의 판단을 신뢰했다고 말하죠. 그리고 샤이아는 자신의 모든 선택과 판단들이 틀렸다고 생각했을 때 삶을 포기하라고 했다고 말합니다.
Bottom isn't when you experience the worst moment of your life. Definitely. Bottom is when you change. I mean, when it landed, I forgot how to breathe, you know, because the subtext of the email was, your hustle's over. I called my dude up and he's like, bro, you gotta let go. I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, all my ideas had failed. And I sat there for 2 minutes thinking, where's the wiggle room? There were no options. It was like, there was nowhere to go. Staring at a computer screen I went and loaded up a gun and sat at my table and was gonna kill myself.
삶을 포기하려고 했던 순간 그는 알코올 중독 치료사 권유로 하나의 테이프를 듣게 됩니다. 어느 중국 농부의 이야기였던 그 테이프는 샤이아의 삶을 바꿨다고 말합니다. 자세히 들어보시죠.
He says, I need you to download this tape, this Sandy Beach tape. Sandy Beach is a big speaker. The speech was, he was talking about this Chinese farmer. This Chinese farmer and his son, they're picking radishes about the ground. And they don't own the land that they're farming off of. And they're barely subsisting. They're giving 70% to the landowner. They're living off of 30% of these radishes. Their whole financial legacy is tied up into this workhorse. And one day the workhorse runs up off the hill. He just fucks off. He's up the hill. And the son runs into the house and he shakes his dad up and he says, Dad, you're not gonna believe this is a travesty. We're gonna die out here. I can't get these radishes to grow unless I turn this land over, and I can't move that hoe without the horse, and the horse is gone. This is a nightmare. And the old man, nonplussed, looks at his son. He goes, I don't know what this is, son. I don't know if it is a nightmare. I can't call it. And a couple days later, the kid is chilling on the porch and he sees the horse running down the hill with 50 wild stallions behind him. And they run into the paddock and he locks the paddock and he runs inside and he hits the dad. He's like, man, this is... fuck radishes, like, we're rich, you know, we're in the horse business, we're in the horse trading business now. This is a miracle, Dad. I'm gonna go tell everybody we're trading horses now. And the father looks at his son nonplussed again and says, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a miracle. I can't call it. And a couple more days pass and The son's trying to break these horses down, domesticate these horses. He doesn't know anything about horses. He's a radish farmer. One of the horses ain't having it. And he rears up, kicks him in his leg. It's like 1400s China. There's no Kaiser Permanente. His shit is shattered. They wrap him in some like tobacco leaves and sprinkle some mint on it. Go sit in a chair for a while. And he's wailing, and the townspeople hear about it. And the townspeople run up on the little shack and, oh man, what are you gonna do? You know, you can't domesticate these horses. You can't move this hoe. You guys are fully fucked. I don't know what you're gonna do, but this is pretty much the end, right? Like, this is a nightmare. And the old man says, I don't know what this is. He looks at his son's leg. He goes, I don't know what this is. I can't really call it. A couple more days pass. He's sitting with his son. He's trying to calm him down. He's in the middle of pain, and they hear this thunderous noise, and they look up on the ridge line, and they see 5,000 samurai on horseback running towards their little hut. And the commanding officer gets off his horse and says, give us your son. We're going to fight the Maoist army. And he looks at his son's leg, and he looks back at the samurai army, and he goes, I would, but he can't get out the chair. You know, he can't get on his, he can't. No, I can't. I would, but I can't. He's crippled. And the man gets back on his horse, and 8,000 men ride off to their death. And I listen to this tape, driving back from the beach back to where I'm living, and I get out of my car, and her bags are packed. She's on her way out. And old me would have written a haiku poem in blood and ripped my shirt off Hulk Hogan style and ran down the street and jumped over the fence, and something in me from having heard what I just heard, what feels like this is now I can't get no lower. I hear this like I can't call it. And it becomes like this, the most diplomatic breakup I ever had in my life. And I say, what can I do? And can I get you a car? And she goes, no, don't worry about it. Go get well. Dudes who've been where I've been or something similar, just know it gets better. It does. Like, it don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. It's irrational. It doesn't make any sense on paper that I could have joy in abundance in my life, that I could feel any kind of joy in my life after being what I've been.
살다 보면 좋은 일도 나쁜 일도 일어날 것입니다. 원하든 원치 않든 인생에서 행복과 고통을 피할 수 없는 것이죠. 큰 고통 뒤에는 기회, 변화, 그리고 긍정의 힘이 있습니다. 그리고 마찬가지로 좋은 소식 뒤에는 삶의 실현이 따르기 마련이죠. 이 모든 것을 위해 우리는 특정한 상대성 이론으로 삶을 살아야 합니다. 우리에게 일어나는 나쁜 일도 그렇게 나쁜 것도 좋은 것도 아니라는 것이죠. 성공하는 사람들의 공통점 중에 하나는 그럼에도 불구하고 오늘 하루를 어제보다 한 발짝 더 걷는 삶의 태도입니다. 여러분들의 꿈을 진심으로 응원합니다. 감사합니다. 멘탈테이프였습니다.